What's up, guys? This is a Board Game Roamer, and I'm back with the second episode in our playthrough. So, in the end of the last episode, you saw that I had asked for suggestions, and the overwhelming, and by overwhelming I mean everybody wanted this, so we're gonna do it. The option that we took on this card is we opted for the Molnar Trader. So what this means is everybody is going to get a trove loot, and we have a special encounter, and here is the special encounter that we're going to add to our encounter deck, and that's what we're going to take. That's what we're going to choose. Also, and this kind of works out, since I have not used the reflex powder for Nugget, I forgot whenever Nugget draws a loot, she always draws an extra and discards one. So first thing I need to do is I need to draw an extra one for her, for the original that we drew as part of our fighting. We normally would got one, but we should have got two. So Nugget would have been able to choose between reflex powder and fresh bog meat. This is the extra one that I just grabbed, and I'm going to, reflex powder is good because we can get to re-roll something that we desperately need. Of course, bog meat's not bad because that is some HP. I think we're going to take the re-roll, so I'm going to discard that. Now, what I'm not sure of is does a special ability of Nugget, does that also, being able to draw an extra card, does that loot card, does that also include? Okay, so I did check, and trove loot is not considered loot. So, well, it's considered loot, but not for the purposes of Nugget's skill. So, each one of our gearlocs will get a single trove loot. So the first one is a 2-3-3, and then we've got a 2-3-5 for Nugget. Okay, cool. And we get another progress point, so we'll move that up, and that is the end of the day. That quick. So what happens at the end of the day? We can trade loot. Do we want to trade loot? No. But I do want to consider, I'm not sure what the order should be. I'm going to assume that this is okay. Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this card. This is the encounter card, the Molnar Traders. Going to just kind of stick it in the center here. Right there's the card. Then I'm going to flip these over so I don't know which one's where and what's what. And turn it to the side where I can't really see. Just give them a good shuffle. And 3, 2, 1, stop. Okay. So there we go. Alright, so that takes care of that. And this goes over here. So first thing we can do is we can trade loot within the party. Don't think I want to do that right this second. Then we can make a lockpick attempt. Now, the thing with the lockpick attempt is that I can attempt to pick either locks on any gear lock can pick any other gear lock, including their own. So instead of us both having to try to open this on our own, we can help each other. So the question is, what's going to be easier. Now, the 233, which is what Tantrum has, 2 lever, 3 trip, 3 force is probably easier. But at the same time, that probably means that Nugget's got a better loop. Let's go with Tantrum. The skinny knife is good. So let's go to the table here, and I think these will sort of show up for you so you can see. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're trying for this right here. So we need 2 lever, 3 trip, 3 force. Okay. So let's really get that in there. And we'll start with Tantrum. So we're going to roll that. Alright, so first thing we need is 2 lever. And oh, there's a 2 lever, so we'll go ahead and use that. We need 3 trip. Well, actually, we can convert this trip die that has a 3L with this intuition die from a lever. Oh, I guess I should turn this where you guys can see it. From a lever to a force. So we'll turn this, or from a lever to a trip. So we'll change this 3 trip to, or 3 lever to 3 trip. We use the intuition die to do this, to convert that. And actually, wow, this is perfect. This is 3 forces enough to unlock this. So, in one roll, which is not normal, we have actually completely unlocked this. So let's find out what we got. We have Dex Infuser. And it says backup plan extension for 1 bone. Excuse me, 1 bone. Immediately roll one additional available die. That's permanent. So it's going to give us more dice to roll during a battle. Cool. Alright, and so let's go to Nugget, who has a 235. So Nugget's going to roll. Alright, so we need 2 lever. Well, there's a conversion die. No. Man, 3 trip, 3 trip. I need 2 lever. Wow. Alright. So I guess this is what we've got going on here. Let's put these in order they are in the card. Oops. We have 1 force, 3 trip, 3 trip. And into a shadow. So I'm thinking we need 2 lever. So I'm gonna say maybe use the force die, use the converter to make that a lever instead of a trip, and that will unlock the first one. Then we'll use the actual 3 trip of the actual trip die here to unlock trip, which would just leave force, but there's no possible way for me to get 5 force here. So we got 2 out of 3 unlocked on this for Nugget. So we're going to put that here, and we're going to go ahead and put that like so, to indicate that that's been unlocked. Cool. So that takes care of lockpicking. That was actually really good. I do need to check on one thing though that I need to make sure. I need to check on this Dex Infuser. It says we're all one additional available die. So I need to find out what defines an available die, and then the skinning knife, I need to see if I can use it now, or because here's what I'm hoping. If I can use the skinning knife after I do scouting, which is what I'm probably going to do in this next phase, if I get anything that is a, for instance, orc peon, an orc anything, especially those that have rage, I may use the skinning knife, because the orcs necessarily on their own individually are not that powerful, but if you get 2 or 3 together and they start stacking those attack dice, they can be really nasty really quick. So I want to check for those. So give me 1 second, and I'm going to check the BGG, and I'm going to update. Well, let's just go ahead and do that. We're going to update our progress points to now 3, which is good. And yeah, let me check on the other, and I will be right back. Okay, so I did a quick perusal of the rule book and on BGG, and my understanding, based on what I read, is that I can use the loot at any point in time during my turn. So I think what should happen, if I'm doing this right, and if there's if I'm not, please let me know, and if I'm not, when you let me know where you found that information so I can go read that. But because I want to do it on Tantrum's turn potentially, I'm gonna have Nugget go first, and Nugget is going to, I mean, technically all this I think happens at the same time, but just for clarification, my throat is killing me, guys. I'm gonna have Nugget go first, and then our boy Tantrum. So here we go. All right, so a 4. So what does a 4 let us do? A 4 will let us search, I believe, a 5-point. Yeah, reveal up to a 5-point baddie. Given that we're going to day 4, there's a good chance that we'll fight a 5-point baddie. So let's go ahead and reveal a 5-point baddie. And let's go to the battle cam. So the 5-point baddie is a Mischief 2, Signal 1, Goblin Sapper with 5 hit points, an initiative of 4, and 3 attack dice. Pretty nasty dude, but honestly, he's melee and he only attacks a single target. I think we'll keep him. He's not an orc, so there you go. So then we'll use Tantrum. Tantrum's gonna roll, and that reveals a 2. That's a 1 point. So we have a Bog Frog, 2 poison, not super thrilled with. A 3 initiative isn't horrible, but a 3 initiative, 2 poison. We got to fight them at some point, so I'm gonna say let's keep them. I might regret that, but let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. So I'm gonna opt to not use the skinning knife right now. Yeah, I'm gonna opt to not use the skinning knife, and I guess I'll. Guess I'll leave my defeated stacks over here. I'm trying to think of a good way to do this. Alright, cool. So, let's go now to day, I'll pick that up. Let's go now to day number 4. And what do we have? A bed of bones. Over here, our scout calls, ending our pursuit of the owner of an odd set of tracks we've been following all day in hopes they'd lead us to something special. Well, they did. Unfortunately, they've led us to a cavern filled with heaps of torn armor and gnawed-on bones of what once were other all-too-eager suckers. I mean adventurers. What's more disturbing are the piercing eyes staring down at us through the dark. There's something very much alive in here with us. Alright, so. Oh, wow. Alright, so here we go. We have two options. Let's go back to the battle cam. Two options. We can run in all directions. Dang it. We can run in all directions. Basically, there's a 20-point baddie that we have to fight. That we had on top of the BQ. And we have to choose a number of attack and defense dice. And basically, we can roll. We exhaust those. And depending on the number of dice we exhaust, we roll a d6. If it is less than or equal to the number of party dice exhausted, place a stun effect die on the 20-point baddie. So, I mean, you could potentially fight a stun at 20 points if you get rid of a bunch of dice. But to get rid of, say even 4 dice would be rough, and you still have to fight the 5-point and the other 1 points. So as much as I hate to do it, I think we're going to go with the second option, because I just don't think the first option is realistic at this point. If we were further along and had more attack dice and defense dice, maybe we could do that. Or if we were a bigger party, then it would be easier to do that. So I think that we're just going to do the bottom option, which doesn't give us any additional points, but we'll just have to take 2 damage before the start of battle. Tantrum had a 4, so he went first. So initially, Nugget rolled a 2, so we're going to use one of our 2 uses of the reflex powder and re-roll that initiative. Alright, so we got a 4. That's much better. So we're going to let Nugget go second. Awesome. Now then, let's place him out. That's what I love about this game, is it can be so tactical, and you think some of the smallest things might not make a huge difference, but you never know. And we won't redo this, whatever happens happens, but I just think that's pretty cool. Alright, so we're gonna go, I think doing what I did with Tantrum is the way to go there. And oh wait, we got to take 2 damage. I forgot. See, that's the part that hurts. The 2 damage. You don't have a whole lot of health. So do I want to keep that same configuration, or do I want to put Nugget here? And actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, Mischief, it just says remove number of dice, player's choice from target. However, there are other of these that I believe say, like Corrosive says, talks about the dice must be exhausted. So I think that doesn't remove the dice. It doesn't exhaust the dice, it just removes them. So, well, but that wouldn't make sense. I guess if it's a skill die, it would be exhausted. Yeah. I guess skill dice are exhausted and take a defense dice are just removed. Alright, we'll play like it's exhausted. I guess that makes the most sense. Okay, let's try this again. Tantrum goes first. He's got 3 attack dice and 4 decks. So I think we're actually going to roll his Hardy. And what do we got? Alright, so we only, oof. We have 3 damage, and the Hardy's at 1, which I'd rather have had 2 probably, but that is what it is. We're going to use the bone. It's 1.2. Then we're going to do 3 damage to the Goblin Sapper. And we'll use one of these die to put him up to 1.4 on his angry meter, to use that angry first bone ability. Okay. Next is Nugget. Well, alright, hold on. Before we do that, do I really... Alright, no, I'm not going to use the Hardy die because, I mean, it's not going to kill him, so it's almost seems pointless. Now, there's a 1 in 6 chance with a long blade that I could get 2 damage. I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Alright, so Nugget's going to go next. He's going to roll 2 attack dice, and his long blade, that's a total of 3 dice. His dex is 3, and it's going to be against this rider. Whoa. And that was 3 points total. So the rider is destroyed. Put that there. Let's leave those over there for now. I'll go there. Next up is the main guy who did mischief, which let me look this up and just make sure that mischief exhausts. Okay, so it looks like from what I see that does exhaust dice. So the rage die is exhausted for Tantrum, and Goblin Sapper rolls 3 attack dice. Wow. Really? That's freaking awesome. He only does 1 damage. Y'all saw me roll it too. Alright. Next up is the Clay Golem, the closest. Okay, this actually works out beautifully. The closest is Tantrum. He's going to roll 1 die for attack. And he rolls a bone too. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay. So he's gone. Then, yep. Then the Bog Frog goes. Now, here's the good thing. The Bog Frog is a poison 2 towards the strongest. It cannot get to Tantrum or Nugget, and it's 2 moves. So we have to look and see what's the closest gearloc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to move towards Nugget, which means it's going to go 1, 2. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is going to work out beautifully, I believe. That's awesome.